What's up, art fans? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're stepping into the bold, colorful world of Keith Haring, the king of pop graffiti who turned New York streets into his canvas. His art is instantly recognizable, packed with dancing figures, barking dogs, and a whole lot of heart. But it's also fetched some serious cash at auction. In this video, we're counting down the top 5 highest prices ever paid for Keith Haring's work, and we'll dig into the man behind the magic, his dreams, his struggles, and why his art still speaks to us today. So let's dive in, grab a snack, and let's get started. First, let's talk about Keith Haring. Born in 1958 in small-town Pennsylvania, Keith was doodling cartoons before he could tie his shoes, inspired by his dad and heroes like Dr. Seuss. By 1978, he was in New York City, studying at the School of Visual Arts and soaking up the gritty, electric vibe of the downtown scene. This was the era of punk, hip-hop, and rebellion, and Keith fit right in. He started drawing with white chalk on blank subway posters, creating art for everyday people, commuters, kids, anyone who passed by. His work wasn't just pretty pictures, it was a call for justice, love, and freedom, tackling issues like AIDS, racism, and war. Keith's life was as vibrant as his art, but it wasn't always easy. He was openly gay in a time when that could cost you everything, and he faced his own battle with AIDS, passing away in 1990 at just 31. Yet he never stopped creating, leaving behind a legacy that's still shaking up the art world. Those subway sketches, they're now worth millions. Let's break down the top 5 sales that prove Keith Haring's art is as powerful today as ever. Why do Haring's pieces sell for so much? It's not just the bold lines or bright colors, though those are awesome. His work captures the pulse of the 80s while speaking to universal truths: unity, resistance, joy. Plus, Keith believed art belonged to everyone, not just the elite. He opened the pop shop in 1986 to sell affordable t-shirts and posters, which made him a legend, but also meant fewer high-end works exist. That scarcity drives collectors wild. Now, let's count down the biggest auction moments for his art. Kicking things off at number 5 is Untitled from 1988, sold for $5.2 million at Sotheby's, New York in November 2014. This painting is pure Haring joy. Figures doing the spider move, a dance step from the 80s in a rainbow of blues, purples, and reds. It's like a party on canvas, bursting with energy. Created just 2 years before Keith's death, it feels like he was celebrating life despite knowing his time was short. What makes this human? Keith poured his love for movement and community into this piece. He was a regular at NYC's clubs, dancing with friends like Madonna and Jean-Michel Basquiat. This painting feels like a snapshot of those nights, a reminder to keep moving forward. $5.2 million is huge, but for a piece that radiates so much life, it's no surprise. At number 4, we've got The Last Rainforest from 1989, which fetched $5.4 million at Sotheby's, London in June 2016. This massive canvas is one of Keith's final works, painted months before he passed. It's wild. Dogs, hearts, and twisted figures tangled in a dense, urgent scene. Owned by photographer David LaChapelle, who said Keith painted like he knew time was running out, it doubled its estimate at auction. This piece is so raw because it's Keith confronting the end. He was fighting AIDS, watching friends die, yet he kept creating. It's a cry against destruction, of nature, of lives, and a plea for hope. That emotional weight, plus its sheer power, makes $5.4 million feel like a steal for such a masterpiece. Number 3 is Untitled from 1984, sold for $5.6 million at Christie's, London in June 2021. Picture this: a computer perched on a pyramid like a god, surrounded by worshippers, UFOs, and robots. It's classic Haring, blending his cartoon style with a warning about technology's grip on humanity. This piece made history as one of the first major artworks sold with a cryptocurrency option. What's human here? Keith was no Luddite. He loved innovation, but he saw how tech could disconnect us. At 26, he was already asking big questions about society, all while keeping his art playful. That mix of depth and fun is why collectors dropped $5.6 million to own it. Coming in at number 2 is another Untitled from 1982, painted with enamel and day-glow on metal, which sold for $6.1 million at Sotheby's London in March 2022. This piece is a riot of color, reds, yellows, greens, with Haring's signature dogs and figures leaping across the surface. It's huge, almost 16 feet wide, and screams his street art roots. He was 24, already a star, but still painting for the people. The day-glow glow reminds me of his belief that art should grab you, shake you up. 6.1 million reflects its size and spirit. It's Haring saying, "Look at me, world." And here's the big one. Number 1, the highest price ever paid for a Keith Haring is $6.5 million for Untitled from 1982, sold at Sotheby's, New York in May 2017. This painting is iconic Haring. Simple white lines on a black background with dancing figures, barking dogs, and clouds. It's like a graffiti dream, alive with movement and meaning. The buyer, a collector who saw it as the ultimate Haring statement. Why so pricey? This piece has it all: his classic motifs, his street vibe, and a political edge. Those barking dogs, they're often Keith's symbol for fighting oppression. At 24, he was channeling his anger and hope into every line. $6.5 million isn't just for paint, it's for a moment when a young artist changed art forever. So what do these numbers tell us? Yeah, they're about rich collectors and big auctions, but they're also about Keith's vision. He wanted art to be for everyone, not locked in galleries. That's why he painted murals on the Berlin Wall, designed Swatch watches, and opened the pop shop. His work still feels alive, whether it's a $6.5 million painting or a $20 tote bag. Keith's story is human to the core. He faced prejudice, illness, and a world that didn't always get him, but he kept drawing, kept loving. His art reminds us to fight for what's right and to find joy in the chaos. These prices aren't just money, they're proof that his message still resonates. That's our rundown of the highest prices paid for Keith Haring's art. What do you think? Would you bid millions for a Haring? Or maybe his story just inspires you to create? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this, smash that like button and subscribe for more art deep dives. Until next time, keep the creativity flowing, and I'll catch you in the next video.